Hey there, we're on step 6 of the 6-step process before becoming truthfully honest with yourself. And this one is the part where steps 1 through 5 really start to matter. Okay, so they've been kind of individual, they've built a little bit on top of each other, but this is where you really get to rewrite and reinforce a new you. So this means that you get to write down and follow and track all the thoughts you're having, the beliefs that you've had about certain things, about yourself, about the world, about everything. Start challenging all the information that comes into your headspace. This is a high dollar, you cannot replace it mechanism inside your body. Start treating it with as much respect as it takes, as it requires. So once you've documented all these things, you've documented the ping, the information surrounding it, the raw, you open it up, what's really inside there, what's festering. Then you got to the point where you're actually going to start running an alignment test. If you don't have any alignment to run it by, that's where you're going to start refining what you want out of life and what makes you feel whole, content, and at peace. Then you're going to challenge those beliefs. And then you're going to get to step 6, where we're going to rewrite and reinforce the new data. We're going to kick out the old programming. We're going to say, you're not welcome here anymore. We're ready for an upgrade. And this is where you get to write the upgrade. You get to say the things that are true and your new beliefs that you've actually come to terms with. And this doesn't happen like I wrote it and it was all linear. This is all very like web-like. Again, like I said, the consciousness is more like a web than it is a vertical structure with a foundation. So you get to start writing a new path. What's not serving you? Rewrite it. That thought, I'm not creative, that doesn't serve me. I'm very creative. I do a lot of creative things, not just in like artistic ways, but in marketing ways, in structural and strategy ways. Start thinking about things more complexly and not so simply in black and white. Then you're going to start documenting the micro shifts. The micro shifts are when that belief or that ping comes into your frame of reference and your consciousness. You're going to say, I know what you are. I know what you're doing here, and I know what you're trying to tell me, and I appreciate that, but this is how we're going to respond. Those are those tiny little micro movements that are going to be kind of scripts at first before they take hold and become just part of your process. And you're going to be able to choose a different line of action. And when you don't choose the different line of action, you document it, you note it, you say what happened, what your intentions were, what actually occurred, and what you want to change next time. Just because it doesn't work 100% of the time, and it won't. I don't know how to tell you that enough. It will not work every single time. But what we're looking for is the repeated attempt of being conscious of what's working and what's not working. So if you have like a micro shift, and every time you think I'm going to use this micro shift, and every time it doesn't work, chances are that micro shift isn't the right shift. So start evaluating the shifts. All right, that wasn't it. That wasn't the right script to change this. And write it down. Maybe it's setting a new boundary. I'm not going to go running when so-and-so calls. So-and-so calls. That feeling's going to build. You're going to want to run. Don't necessarily respond to it. Write it, document it. This part is where you're literally analyzing all the things that you've become conscious of, and you're choosing to react in a different way. And this is painful. This is painful because for some reason, going against our initial programming or programming we picked up along the way, those viruses don't want to leave. Those bugs don't want to go. They want to live off you. You are their host, and they don't want to let you go. But you are not here to serve them. You're here to serve yourself and to move through life with a clear conscience. And honestly, starting to become incredibly real with yourself where you are at fault. The only way to change any of your circumstances is to acknowledge where you are at fault and your place in every single situation you find yourself in. And that's not you're always at fault, but if you find yourself in a particular situation over and over again, whether it's with a person, a circumstance, or a thing, it is your fault for continuously putting yourself there. So you have to find out what is your piece in it that constantly leads you back to this point. And that's where we're rewriting and we're choosing to reinforce new patterns and recalibrate this process up here. You have to get upgrades and you have to get rid of the bugs. So this is where you're setting the new boundaries, you're writing the new micro shifts, you're starting to get clear on what your alignment tests are, and you're starting to filter all the new things that come into your brain like that. Maybe you can't do them all, but you're starting to document regularly to where you're actually masticating your thoughts, you're breaking them down, you're making them absorbable for your consciousness, you're discarding the stuff that no longer serves you, and you're prioritizing what does. And this is the 6-step process to becoming incredibly truthful with yourself. And that's how you become truthful with other people in relationships. You can't even begin to start dealing with other relationships until you've dealt with yourself. Because every time you go into a circumstance with another relationship or another circumstance, if you're not clear where you're at and your participation, nothing's going to come out of it that's productive, at least not to the point where it's life-changing. And the goal here is to make life changes and shifts in the trajectory of what we want out of our life. And that's just truth. And the bottom line is, we're not here to tear ourselves apart. We're not here to rip ourselves open. We're not here to be bleeding hearts and martyrs, but we're trying to get in here surgically and extract what no longer serves us, what has bogged down the process for so long. And truthfully, I get it, with the way the life is chaos and crazy, it is almost hard to slow down. But if you do it incrementally and a little bit at a time, I promise you it becomes a lot easier. I started this in a time where I was working 80 hours a week. I had no way out, and I didn't know there was a way out, but I just started documenting it along the way. And lo and behold, the path out found me, because I was willing to work with myself inside of it and say, that doesn't serve me. Ooh, I don't really like that. Ooh, I don't believe that. I didn't know I was causing that. I am the reason this happens every single time. And now that I know, I can change it. So this is the last step in the 6-step process of becoming truthful with yourself. Follow along, go find the other steps. I'll put it together as one big video too. And I just encourage you to do this for yourself. To get honest with yourself means cutting open and surgically removing things that do not serve you, and looking really, really deep into the mirror and knowing that true reflection only starts when you are ready to start processing what you truthfully see. Thank you so much for being here with me through the 6-step process. I hope it's useful to you. Have a good day.